The Worldwide Sports Radio Network. The Sports Hit List presents Smoking Mirrors with Declan Krogman and the Polius Brothers, Greg and Stefan, breaking down the biggest news in sports, giving you the stories behind the story. Here for all the smoke, all the time, right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Good afternoon and welcome to Smoke and Mirrors, presented by the Sports Hit List on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, Stefan Polius, alongside my fellow hosts, Declan Krogman and Greg Polius. And we also have a special guest here with us today, our boy, Dave Chestnut, here to talk with us throughout the day. So you're going to have all four of us. Dave, I'll come to you. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you guys for having me again. Once again, it's your host, man. It's your man, D Chess, man. I've been looking forward to being on this show. I've been waiting for the Police brothers to give me a call.
We took a little while. My bad.
Listen. I'm here.
Yes, sir. Deck, how you doing, man?
Not bad, man. Good weekend. We had a nice little fantasy draft. David, nice to finally meet you. Thanks for coming on, man.
Oh, nice to meet you too.
You too, man. Very excited. We got a lot to talk about today. I can't wait.
Definitely.
How about you, Greg? What's going
Shout out to my fellow Bash brother. He used to do our damage in the 3-4 hole back at Baruch.
Oh man, doing as our good friend D Kelly would say, doing jobs. Doing jobs.
Yep.
It was a pleasure going back to back, and I know we were a terror to most lineups, most pitching in that conference, you know. So
good times.
I know. Good times, great times.
Before Baruch was what it is now, I guess. You guys made it more. You kind of built the building blocks to what Baruch is, right?
I mean, more so Dave.
Baseball.
Yeah, more so Dave than me. I only played 2 years. Dave played 4, so he was really there to see the whole overhaul.
I mean, that's you being humble, but let's be honest. When we transferred over from our situations and we got our shot to really showcase our talent, and people started noticing that, listen, they do have talent over there, and we can really build something with these pieces. Well, they started to come in. Our coach, Jose Torres, started to build around us, and obviously you were really one of the main pieces that the cement on the ground. You know, I just happened. Definitely, like, and we're old enough to give ourselves enough credit, you know? So at the end of the day, you were, like I said, me and you were the cement. And from there, I just happened to be there having a couple more years of eligibility to really get a championship.
That's what's up. Speaking about college sports, though, we're going to start with March Madness.
Oh, wow.
So all of you know on Friday we were speaking about the Final Four, and it played out on Saturday. You know, we had Gonzaga beating UCLA, which that ender.
Hold on, how good was that game?
That game was amazing.
That's got to be one of the better games.
Classic.
One of the best games we've seen in a long time at the college level.
It makes. Sorry, Dave. I just want to say it makes the Baylor Houston game more like the undercard. And I know you Houston, you know, Declan. Sorry. You know, I just have to say it all right.
You guys are so lucky. You won't hear me talk about my bracket no more. I'll never mention the upsets I picked. It's over. It was fun while it lasted. But we got a nice game tonight. It's at 9:15, 9:20. Yep. We get the game, you know, as Chuck said. Shout out to Chuck for filling it for Greg. First of all, Greg, obviously very happy to have you back.
Glad to be back.
Yeah, seriously, Chuck said that game was the game we all deserved. In 2021 and 2020, I really didn't think we were going to get the game that we deserved, but we did. And that's that. And we'll get it tonight. But we got an insane game. Shout out to UCLA, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. Oh, listen. Played more than hard. They played their life out. As you should, especially during this COVID time where not a game is guaranteed. You know, this is the first time. It's the first time probably in our lives that a tip off hasn't been guaranteed. So to even get the opportunity to showcase yourself on that highest level, they show how much it meant, and they put their heart on the line. It was a big win for college sports.
Yep. Yeah,
definitely. And I think Juzang played himself into a top 10 pick.
Oh, yes, he did. He played himself into money. That and that's what. That's what.
Approved.
Well, one thing. Go, Greg. No, you go.
I was gonna say, you know, I was following on Gamecast, and it doesn't hit the same as watching live, but even on a Gamecast, watching a back and forth, I'm like, holy smokes, this is a great game.
And I want to say something else too. The defense that was played, it wasn't just like, okay, we're the most talented offenses and we're going back and forth. No, there was strategic strategy. There was screens. It was like an essence we haven't seen. It was basketball, you know? It wasn't the most talented guys going around dominating the game. And it was a beautiful thing to see. And listen, like I said, a big win for college basketball that might be in some peril in the next coming years.
One thing I will say that I found out, because as I was seeing Jalen Suggs' name, for those who didn't get to watch, Jalen Suggs sank the game winner. Amazing. Off the glass. Yeah, it was a long three off the glass. Went and jumped on the table afterwards. That last name, I'm like, Suggs can't be right. Looked into it, and Jalen Suggs is a cousin of Terrell Suggs, it's Baltimore Ravens.
Also I think he was a 5-star, 4-star quarterback recruit out of high school, and he would go around to college visits, and they would tell him, "Listen, I'm not going to waste your time. You're not going to waste my time. We all know you're going basketball. Just get out of here." I think somebody tweeted out, I should apologize to Jalen Suggs for recruiting him as a quarterback or something.
Because he's a freshman, right?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Speedy's always on it. Yes.
Yeah.
He is a freshman, so kid's got a bright future. Randy's in the comments saying that Baylor's going to win it all. Who do you guys have taking it?
Zaga.
Not Michigan, like Manny originally said. It's going to be such a tough game. Going back to that UCLA, Zaga game, like, can we just talk about the resiliency of both sides? There would be like a crazy block. Someone would get stuffed on a dunk, and then the next possession, the guy would go for that same dunk and slam it down. Like it was like, if there was such a thing as smash mouth basketball,
that's
what it was.
No, it remind me of. Sorry to cut you off. Remind me of them old Big East title basketball games.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
Type stuff.
Oh yes,
mellow.
When it's coming down to the wire, it's defense. No matter how much talent, everybody's playing with their heart. Both coaches on the sideline engaged. Like like I said, it was refreshing to watch.
Definitely
refreshing.
They even went to the coaches. They cut to them after, kind of the madness kind of died down after, Suggs jumped on the table. And you just see them shaking hands. And, like, the Gonzaga coaches has that smile like, we, like, narrowly escaped death there. And even the UCLA coach is just like, you got to be freaking kidding me, man. We fought that hard for this.
Go ahead, Dave.
Now, go ahead, Greg. Now, what I'm saying is, like, imagine, like, that shot, if anybody who played basketball, like during that period, most coaches usually tell you, don't foul. But as you see now, like, that's a shot people can make now. Like, even though it was a crazy shot, it's like you still got to play some type of defense now just on the inbound at the end of the game.
Possibility.
Whether you argue if basketball's gotten worse or better over the years, you can't deny that the shooting, it just seems to be getting better at every level. Like, as it goes on, like, you see, like I know Steph said it was a long three. Honestly, I viewed it more as like kind of closer to a half court shot. I mean, that was improbable. I was like, double overtime. And then I was on the phone on FaceTime with my girlfriend who picked Gonzaga in our little, pool, whatever. How original, by the way. So I was on like a half a second delay, and I see UCLA make that bucket. I'm like, oh, he got his own rebound. He got it. All of a sudden, the guy's taking it up half court. I see her smile. I'm like, she's messing with me. He sinks it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It's unbelievable. I was shocked, but I guess I saw it.
He sinks it with confidence. Like, that was the thing. It was like, yeah, I got it. Like this game, like he called game when he shot it. That's the scary part.
That ball didn't even hit the glass yet, and he was running for the scores.
Shout out to Ray Jarvis. He said when it's your year, it's your year. And that's what the vibe I'm getting from Gonzaga. I mean, I picked up to start, and I'm gonna still go. Baylor has some pro level players on their side, but I just think the overall team effort on Gonzaga is gonna get it done in a close one, though, in a nail biter.
I do have a question for you guys, though, because as you're talking about Declan shooting, improving on all levels, I like to believe that that's the cause of that is, the Steph Currys and the Dame Lillards of the world that are on a game in, game out kind of night to night basis, making these improbable shots. What used to be improbable now is like we expect them to make them. And the same way when you're younger and you're looking at and idolizing players, to see, players of that caliber taking these shots that used to be, what are you doing? It's the last shot at the end of the, last shot at the shot clock's, winding down or, end of the game. It's like, okay, it's a prayer. These aren't prayers anymore. These people are practicing this. So I think that it's, influenced by the NBA, the stars that you see doing this. And now you have college players that they're spending time in the gym now, practicing this shot. Cause you don't just make that right on a whim. You're working hard at that in the gym and then you're putting it out on the court, in game.
Especially to shoot. I agree. I'm sorry. I agree. And especially to shoot it with that confidence. Mm-hmm. And another thing, like I'm going to make a little linear look. The 3-point shot in the NBA has come like the home run in Major League Baseball. Since Steph Curry came in the league and teams have been running up the score with a 3 and teams are trying to emulate that same type of style, you notice that players are getting paid. Like it's like a must now. You must shoot.
Yeah.
We don't want you if you don't shoot. So you have to shoot. You have to be in the gym shoot. Very hot commodity. Just like in Major League Baseball. We teach, like coaches teach launch angles to hit more home runs. Why? Because you get paid to hit the long ball. Like, so kids are going to practice that. They're going to emulate their idols, but also it's going to get you paid. It's going to get you to the next level. So I have to practice what's going on in the next level to get there. So that's a big reason why you're going to see it. Dudes, I don't even know how far you could go, but you're going to see, as long as the pro's going to extend that level and thread between how far you're going to shoot, well, the younger players are going to emulate that same type of style.
Yeah, and even what Steph said about Dame and Steph kind of impact Steph Curry, that is Steph without PH.
Not double F, not double F.
Yeah, no, not double F. Kind of impacting the game, like the instant legacy and the impact with the threes and everyone practicing those ridiculous shots. And like some could say, a couple of years ago they were like, oh, stop practicing these long threes. You're never going to shoot them in a game. It's not happening. It's gimmicky. It has now become like a really important part of the game, and I think that's just a great comp. By Dave with talking about the home runs and three balls as being, kind of similar. Maybe they're juicing the basketballs. I don't know.
Imagine that. Deflated basketball is going in. It's like, imagine. We don't need that. We really don't need that.
With that perfect segue, I appreciate y'all for that. Something else that happened this weekend was baseball. All right. We had opening day on Thursday. It was a busy weekend. All right. Busy weekend. Now I just want to go over some of the bigger moments. I want to say the most feel good moment to me was Shohei Ohtani, making history, popping 101 on the gun. And then in that next inning, hitting a home run, 450 feet at 115.2 exit velocity. He's amazing. He's just a world talent.
Any better.
You couldn't.
Honestly.
No, I think he was built out of machine. Like he's like an X-Men. Like,
yeah.
No, for real, really think about it. Like, when have you ever in baseball, in our knowledge, have seen somebody treat the major leagues like it's little league? Oh, you're gonna pitch there, you're gonna hit, and you're gonna hit home runs, and you're gonna throw 102. He's treating this like it's little league. It's amazing.
For Babe Ruth or no?
Oh man,
I might not. No.
So also, Steph, you forgot to mention that homer he hit was 97 high and out, and he yanked it to right center at 450.
That was. It was 97 and it was high and out, and it was like it was child's play.
Yeah,
his swing is unprecedented. It's insane. It redefines a sweet lefty.
He generates so much power with that swing.
Thank God he got up.
Yes. Definitely. I'm happy. I mean, we'll see he's day to day, I think, as far as like the injury report on him. Hopefully he stays healthy because baseball needs Shohei Ohtani. 100%
Yes,
fact.
agreed.
Something else that happened, which was a little fun, a little brouhaha with Cincinnati and St. Louis.
That was awesome.
Man.
Well, here's the thing, right? Nick Castellanos, for those that didn't watch again, Nick Castellanos comes up, gets hit in the ribs, I think like 92, 93, by what's this guy's name again?
Was it Woodward?
Jake Woodford.
Yeah,
right?
Woodford.
So hits him in the ribs. He asked Yachty like it wasn't on purpose, and Yachty says it was a mistake. I think it was a sinker or a two-seamer he missed inside. He ends up getting to third base. Either way, Yachty says
it was a good check.
He gets to third base, right? And then Woodford happens to throw a wild pitch, and it's a bang bang play at the plate. You have Nick Castellanos sliding headfirst, coming in safe, and then John Woodford is there. And when Nick stands up, he says something, "Let's effing go," right? Towards like in his face.
He flexed on him.
100% flexed. 100% flexed. I don't really see a big issue in like clearing the benches for that was like a lot. To be honest with you, I understand the sensitivity of baseball, but apparently, and I didn't know this part, but Nick Castellanos, after he got hit, handed the ball to Woodford. And Adam Wainwright afterwards is like, you just don't do that. Like you just don't do that. You get hit, you let the catcher do that. And it's such a small thing. But when we talk about the intangibles, those unwritten rules in baseball, that's clearly one of them. And cause static before you even have Castellanos getting the third. And then, he stands over your pitcher.
He's poking the bear.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Can I say something about that?
Go ahead,
sure.
David.
Go ahead.
It's ridiculous. He handed him the ball. You just don't do that. Now imagine he handed the ball with a smile. That would change the whole thing because he was like, "Oh, he's being friendly to me." There's Midwest beef between the two teams, and it was great for that drama that happened. Baseball needed that. Like baseball needs energy like that, and like the old saying goes, "Let the boys play."
Let the boys play.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, nothing really happened.
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
It reminded me a little of when Ramon Laureano got hit with a pitch, and it was a slider, and he's like picking up the ball, and he's saying, "You got to snap it, dude." And
that was awesome. That was awesome.
Like
it's a great moment.
And you know what was so funny? Like I saw both sides of that fight. I want to see a little more, not gonna lie. But with that whole thing, it's like I feel like every fight between the two teams, like Yachty or Molina, as much of a legend as he is. Like it always starts with him taking exception to something.
Yes,
like that's what happens.
He's
but you know what? The one thing I'll say is I don't want to say Castellanos was asking for it, but he was flying a little too close to the sun. I have no problem with him. He was skipping down the first baseline on opening day. Chalk it up to excitement. I'll give him a pass on that. Then he gives him the ball. Listen, it's innocent. It's whatever. But like he knew it.
Saying as a build-up. You're saying it's a build-up.
I'm not gonna say it was innocent, right? Because there is past tension between the two teams. It was very petty.
Yeah.
So, but what I'm saying is, in terms of the unwritten rules, we could pick and choose when we want to put those rules in effect.
So shout out to Manny Schefter in the comments.
Manny Schefter.
Yeah, he said Castellanos hit a bomb before the game before and was skipping to first base.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was because
Thanks
of
for having my back. Nah.
Got you.
You know what? Like, and even like still, I agree with Manny. It wasn't innocent. He knew what he was doing. It was petty. I think that Castellanos. Listen, I am new. I'm for the new school in some aspects, for the old school in some. I don't even think. I think this is few and far between. I don't think this really is either. I just think it's kind of ridiculous.
There's going to be another fight.
No,
absolutely. And we can't wait. And let's be honest, guys, we can't wait to see it. Please, Nick, do something stupid again.
Yeah.
Well, yelling LFG in someone's face, like if you're the pitcher on the ground, like you're not going to get up and knock him on his ass. That's just my thought process. Like, get out of my face. And then Yachty comes over. I thought Castellanos handled himself poorly, even in the post game.
Yeah,
one thing I will say.
Oh, go ahead, sir.
Just about that situation, because we spoke about this before with the unwritten rules and how, hitting a guy. We spoke about this before with the unwritten rules and how, a guy does something, maybe pimps a home run, you hit the next guy, you put a guy on, you're allowing for that team to have another chance to score. And ultimately, at the end of the day, if that team won, like let's say they pimped a home run, you hit them, but you still lose, you took the L, and the whole point is to win, right? You're trying to get W's. So in the case of this matchup, Cincinnati took it. I mean, they crushed them on Sunday, 12-1.
Yeah, they did.
you know, and Castellanos hit a home run.
He definitely.
If that's what it took to get him hot, he was hitting a triple at the top of the wall. Then I mean, so be it. But like the idea that he pimped a home run, that's why he got hit, whatever. It was a bunch of stuff, and what led up to the fight, like he was going way too far. You know, it was a CVS receipt list long of things that he was doing the entire series. Like
you're on today, Deck.
He
You're
had
on
it
today.
coming, man. He had it coming.
You know
what? I guess, Deck. I'm sorry. You go. No, hit it. You got it.
Now I was going to say, like, the beautiful thing about it, beside all the petty stuff, it was that the passion shown early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like it meant something, and people and the fans feed off of that. And
I couldn't agree more with that. I mean, it's just great to see them back and excited.
Yeah, definitely.
Before we go on break, I just want to Declan, like in our fantasy draft, like to say I root for the Astros. So since I pseudo root for the Astros, I would like to shout him out for scoring 35 runs in a weekend series against the A's.
Yeah, so Greg got a little mad that I told him that he roots for the Astros. I asked him to be honest.
Imagine telling someone who they root for.
Imagine telling someone what quarterbacks they like. You know what? You can't have it both ways.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
We got to get into that.
Wow. We're moving ahead too fast.
I'm waiting for him to order a Carlos Correa jersey.
I want to add because we're talking about the weekend and what happened. The Mariners won their series, and I'm not saying hey, I'm going to be talking about this all season long. So just lock in, all right?
That's right. The AL West future winners, the Angels took 3
Hold on. Listen. Hold on. Hold on. You said the hot take right there, and I was about to say that the Angels will win the AL West this year.
Wow.
Look at this. I wish we had you on last week.
Hey, but we do have to go to break.
Yeah.
Right. Stay locked in. This is Smoke and Mirrors on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, presented by the Sports Hit List. We'll be right back.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. This is Smoke and Mirrors on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back, everyone. You're watching Smoke and Mirrors here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, presented by the Sports Hit List. I'm your host, Stephen Polius, alongside my fellow hosts, Declan Krogman and Greg Polius. We have our special guest here, Dave Chestnut. We've been talking baseball. Yes, sir. With the belts in front of them. Don't you forget it.
Championship mentality all the time.
I like it. But yeah, we're talking baseball still. I just want to get into, the hometown teams. And, we can't talk about the Mets because they didn't play. But the Yankees played. And they managed to eke out one win on Saturday. But Blue Jays took the series. And, I mean, Yankee fans are I'm not going to put on Yankee fans, New York fans, right? Because Mets and Yankees do it all the time. We love to overreact. But there are a lot of people calling for heads, saying that this team doesn't have what it takes to make it. This is a team that most people on the panel last week said was going to win the division. Mm-hmm. And based on the talk, I would think that the Baltimore has a better chance than the Yankees right now. Seeing how
Thankfully, we know you're joking.
No. It's just hyperbole. It's hyperbole because there's a lot of Yankee fans that are saying like this isn't the recipe. So Declan, resident Yankee fan, hit us with it. How are you feeling? What does this weekend mean to you? Give us your take.
Yeah, I'm not going to overreact. But right now, the only guy that deserves to stay on the team is Gary Sanchez. As far as DJ goes,
wow.
Shouldn't have. I'm not going to overreact.
Hot take. I love it.
Okay, George Steinbrenner.
I'm not going to overreact. All right. DJ, they should have never re-signed him. Judge should be traded. Allen, they should have never. I don't care that he didn't pitch. They should have never made the move. Herman should have got a permanent suspension. Who's next? Cole, go back to Houston. Done with him. Who else?
This sounds like a caller on talk radio.
You sound like you're calling the fan.
Frazier can stay. Who else do I want to? Oh, Hicks, please go. Chapman, I know he hasn't pitched. I don't want him either. Boone, leave. Cashman sucks. Go. And Hal needs to sell the team. Have I represented Yankee fans yet?
Yes, you to a T.
Ignore everything I just said because anyone who says that is an idiot. Okay. All right. Here's what I
Love
really
it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
It's April, guys. Let's relax. DJ's still gonna find a way to hit 300. It's been 3 days. People thought I was serious. Oh, that's amazing. Wow.
I knew you were joking.
No, for real. You did sound like a fanatic, like calling the radio station, like
Hey, listen,
after
man.
those games, you had to hear it.
It's all about not cracking.
No, I heard you. It was great. Great acting, Jack. Great acting.
Yeah, that was great. That was awesome.
Listen, I appreciate that. It was tough. You know, it wasn't the best series. It definitely felt like they got swept to an extent. It's a righty-heavy lineup. But honestly, we didn't learn anything from this weekend that we didn't already know. This could be a streaky baseball team. I still think they'll, find a way to squeak out 100 games, win the division. But this team is clearly, prone to slumps, prone to issues. They're going to kind of rely if Judge is going to strike out with runners in scoring position all the time, this team isn't going to excel to the point where they need it to. That said, I'm not panicked. I think that the team's still going to be okay. I like what I see from Frazier. Obviously, biased. He's my favorite player. At least on the Yankees, definitely love his game. Low-key repper, want to get Evictus because of him. But no, Frazier's my guy. But otherwise, I'm not too worried. I like Talion. I like the way I like that trade. He'll pitch this week. Herman got touched up yesterday. Listen, guys, I can't say it enough. I'm not overreacting, but let's see. Let's
Dave, what do you got? What's your take?
Listen, all the fans' overreaction. Relax. Like it's just you lost one series out of many.
Yes,
the Yankees will be on top, and as usual, if the Yankees have to make adjustments, they will. They've always been that team. Cashman always been that type of guy. If Judge stays healthy, he's going to be the player he is. Stanton's going to hit 90 home runs in insignificant games like he usually does. That's what we pay for. We pay for him to strike out 200 times. And in the mid-July game against the third pitcher on the team, he's going to hit a 454 home runs, and we're going to forget the 5 strikeouts he had the other day.
It's so accurate. It's not even funny.
but that's what the Yankees pay for. And that's what he's going to do. The Yankees will be just fine. The pitcher's going to, the weather's going to warm up. The arms going to be fresher. Yankees going to win the division,
Weather's pretty warm, though. Just going to
I'm going to take a little different angle on it. I think this series means more to Toronto than it does for the Yankees.
Definitely.
Because
I agree.
A young team up and coming, they win a series like this, that could give them momentum. Even though it's early in April, that could springboard into having a really good month. And, when every team hits that lull, because at some point every team hits that lull where they go on a losing streak, they could have built up that good equity of wins in the month of April to make them coast to the All-Star break. So, I like what Toronto's doing. Love the powder blues.
I loved it. I loved it.
Sexy.
That hat, though? Obviously, I'm a uniform fanatic. I love the powder blues. Even the pants work nice. That hat, I don't like.
Nope, I love it.
I think they should
love the hat.
Wait,
I don't like the brim. The color, it's just weird.
Are we really nitpicking the brim?
You good there?
Yeah, hold on. I'm good. Yeah.
I just want to say, Greg, you're on the record disliking the Phillies powder blues. I
dislike the Phillies powder blue with the burgundy. I like the one they have with the red.
Okay.
Hey, listen, this is why Greg doesn't like it.
Wait, get to the screen. There it is.
I got Bryce Harper with the Fire jersey as my lock screen.
Yeah,
it's a nice jersey.
Steph, we were still talking AL East baseball, right?
Yeah. I mean, we were going to talk about those Red Sox.
The Yankees,
yeah.
Oh, the Red Sox.
The Red Sox. I mean, if you're a Yankee fan and you're panicking, you're just happy to know that you're not a Red Sox fan now, because as a Red Sox fan up in Boston, they got to be losing their minds.
Yeah, but what did if you're a Red Sox fan, what do you expect?
Their cars and maybe burning them.
What did you expect?
Not to get smoked by Baltimore.
The Orioles.
It's the fall from grace. It's the fall from grace, though, right? Like for this Red Sox team. Yes, they lost the whole outfield. They lost a lot of key players, but you're not expecting a team that can compete, and it's competed for a decade plus now, to just look like this. I mean, Baltimore walked all over them. They swept them, you know? And I mean, John Means, who, you know, a lot of people, that's not a household name. You know, if you play fantasy, you know about him now.
I got him in both leagues.
After that game, after he one hit the Red Sox. Then you also had Cesar Valdez, who gave up the other hit. They only got 2 hits that game. You do not expect that from the Red Sox. You don't expect Baltimore to be the kind of team that can 2-hit somebody, right? Yeah. So knowing that the Red Sox are there now, and this is your AL East, we're talking about a division that used to be dominant. We would look at that division and say, wow, there's nothing better. The AL East is just it. And it's you still have like the Blue Jays that are competing. The Rays are there. Baltimore, Red Sox.
What do you mean?
The Rays are there.
No, they're there. No, they're good. I'm saying they're good. It's not that they're not good, but like by comparison, it's like you're not looking at the same powerhouses that you had before. At least just having the Yankees and the Red Sox.
Let's switch to the NL East a little bit.
Hold on. Let me. Well, how could Red Sox fans not expect this? You didn't sign none of the players that made you a powerhouse.
Yeah,
you let them go.
That's true.
To Red Sox fans, it's your turn.
Absolutely.
No, it's your turn to struggle for a little bit, and then because you're a powerhouse, you'll be back to grace again. But it's your turn to struggle, and it's unfortunate.
Another decade.
Yep.
So accurate. That's so accurate. But you know what? Like, here's my thing, right? With baseball, it's not like football where a team like the Yankees, if they say lose to the Orioles, I mean, the Blue Jays are a great team, so I'm not going to say, they shouldn't have lost to the Blue Jays. Are a very good team, that is. If a team like the Orioles beats a team like the Yankees, no one's going to be like, how do you lose to the Orioles? This is a disgrace. Like, it's not where in football where I think an example would be the Giants beating the Seahawks is like this all-world event.
Yeah.
Or like if the Jets – I guess the Jets beating the Rams is a big one also. You know? So that's where I see it. It's baseball. It's going to happen. 162-game season, you know? So, I mean, that's where I see it. I'm not going to sit here and overreact about an opening day loss. Although, shout out to John Means because he was absolutely dominant.
Yeah.
And got my ERA and whipped down to a respectable number after Luis Castillo and Brad Keller did nothing for me except implode my ERA.
So as we were, you guys are doing really good with the segues here. Deck's talking football, right? If you guys are locked in, tuned into to the sports world, then you know that Zach Wilson's stock has been rising, right? And everyone and their mother loves Zach Wilson, especially after that pro day. Yep, after that pro day, the pro day was really the launching point. So there've been a lot of talking heads, a lot of scouts that are speaking about Zach Wilson as the next Patrick Mahomes. Which I'm going to just outright say it's ridiculous.
Disrespectful. Disrespectful.
At best.
The comparison, what the wild part is that there are a lot of people who are making this comparison. It's not just, 1 or 2 people. I mean, there's even prominent football, ex-football players, Ryan Clark, Steve Young. They're out here saying Zach Wilson has those tools of Patrick Mahomes. Now, I got to talk to Greg a little bit about it. I'm going to put you on the back burner real quick. Declan, I want to know, what do you think? What is it? Do you agree? Do you agree that Zach Wilson could be the next Patrick Mahomes off of what we've seen?
If I agree, do I get kicked off the show? I mean, my God.
No, definitely. It's your opinion. It's your opinion, baby.
Yeah, that's why we brought in Dave, because if I was going to agree with this question, I got the boot. No, obviously not. I mean, what is this? We're going to call him – I mean, some people are calling him Mormon Mahomes, MAGA Mahomes. Like, wow. Can we come up with more stupid nicknames for a guy that's not Patrick Mahomes? It doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous. First of all, if you want to compare anyone to Mahomes, why don't you start with Trevor Lawrence, who's being touted as a generational quarterback instead of skipping him.
Is he, though?
Is he not being touted as a generational quarterback?
What I'm saying is, like, with all the hype now, it's just like, well, who is Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, I know. What is that? And that is such the media, and this is why Greg can't stand the media, is because they pick one guy in the draft
and they fall in love.
Seem like he's like this insane player that you can't miss, when in reality there's a guy behind him that could potentially be better. And that guy that everyone is probably kind of sniffing out here and they're screwing up his draft stock a little bit is Justin Fields, who, by the way, went to the national championship game.
Yes.
That is a perfect segue because that's exactly where I was going.
We're all about segues today.
Sorry to steal your thunder.
Is the fact that you'll have people like Dan Orlovsky, I don't care if who he was quoting, what scouts he was quoting, saying that, questioning Justin Fields' work ethic. We got a quarterback who, went to the BCS title game, who led his team to that promised land, and, talking him down while playing up Zach Wilson, who played in a far worse conference.
Yeah.
Against worse competition.
Taysom Hill's college. It's just ridiculous. That's ridiculous to me.
Can I? I'm gonna say two things, man. About and it irked my nerve how I don't know, but it's crazy about all these analysts. In the same sentence, they'll go, Zach Wilson, hey guys, Patrick Mahomes' ability, but then they'll go, but Sam Darnold was better than him coming out of college.
Yeah, exactly. It makes no sense.
So the confusion there is it befuddles me every time I hear something like that, because in shorts and the t-shirt he wowed you. He made a couple of throws in his games where he's not playing top of the line competition. It should be question marks behind it, but for some reason he became the next savior. And Jets fans, watch out! Jets fans, watch out! Broadway Zach is coming. Broadway Zach is coming. He's coming. And
Broadway
this is
Zach. You heard it here first. Smoke and Mirrors, Broadway Zach.
Bro, all the attention that he's been getting, plus New York media, Jets fans, watch out. Because if you do draft him and he starts immediately and he sucks, I
mean,
good luck.
Sam Darnold all over again. That's what it would be.
It would be worse than Sam Darnold because now you have the expectation of Patrick Mahomes type talent.
Yeah, I agree. Worse than Darnold. Much worse than Darnold.
And you know what's so funny to me is, first of all, where do we find these guys to get their job? Like Dan Orlovsky, no disrespect to him, professional quarterback. Isn't that the guy who ran out the back of the end zone and took a safety and not on purpose?
He's his own legend. He's a legend himself.
16 line. You know what?
Deck you're coming from today. I like it though.
I love it. But the Zach Wilson, like they're hyping him up, and I feel bad for him because he's gonna have to show and prove.
It's not fair to him either. Honestly,
it's a big part because now for him it's a high risk, high reward. If I do bad, they're gonna be trash cans next to my name every day. I would be memes every day. But if I do great and do win, the sky's the limit. And that's unfair.
One thing I will say, because I've read some of these takes, but Ryan Clark, this one in particular to me was a little weird because he says he makes plays that other guys in college can't, and that includes Trevor Lawrence. Now, I have a problem hearing a line like that, a statement like that, and saying, well, we all have understood that Trevor Lawrence is the number one pick. There hasn't even been a question. With all of this hype, Zach Wilson's still 2 and everyone's bored. How can you say that, make that statement, and say he can make all the throws that, other guys just can't, and then you're not even thinking about, well, maybe Zach Wilson is one, because even when Andrew Luck and RG3 were in the draft, it was like, who's one, who's two? It
was a battle every day.
Exactly. Yeah. People were going back and forth. If you were to give the hype to Zach Wilson that they are giving now, I would understand having a conversation around maybe Zach Wilson could be one, but that's not even a discussion. Right. So why are we talking about him in a way that Trevor Lawrence isn't already doing that?
Yeah. Can I just defend that little quote? I don't know who said it. I know
Ryan Clark.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, he's had some definitely controversial takes. The one thing I'll say in regards to, first of all, believe it as media smoke. They're hyping up Zach Wilson as the number 2.
For sure.
Whether this is within the mind of Ryan Clark at this point, I'd like to think it's not. Whether it is or it isn't is irrelevant to me. To say that Zach Wilson makes plays that Trevor Lawrence can't, I don't think is a huge issue per se, because if you look at Andrew Luck and RG3, Andrew Luck obviously was miles better of a quarterback than RG3 was. That said, RG3 could make plays that Andrew
the explosive plays they couldn't. Yep, I agree.
I think honestly, and I'd like to hope, at least if I'm looking at this just has to have something to do with play style. Because Zach Wilson is as mobile as Trevor Lawrence is, like he's no slouch in the running game. Zach Wilson can really he runs hard, he runs fast.
Yeah.
Whether that translates to the NFL level, we'll see. But he definitely makes plays that Trevor Lawrence, not that he's limited to make, but that Trevor Lawrence is not his game to put himself in these crazy reads.
I hear what you're saying. I guess in response to that, they're more of a one-to-one comparison than RG3 and Andrew Luck. Like the game style, the play styles are so different in Andrew Luck and RG3 compared to like Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence. So to say
an extreme situation.
Yeah, I know, but like this is just to make the comparison to me is like to think about it. It's like I still look at that quote and I'm like, why? Why would you say that? But well, Dave, sorry, we do have to go to break, but we can start right back up when you come back. Everyone stay locked in. This is Smoke and Mirrors on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, presented by the Sports Hit List. We'll be right back.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. This is Smoke and Mirrors on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the show so far. This is Smoke and Mirrors, presented by the Sports Hit List on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. I'm your host, Stephen Polius, alongside my fellow hosts, Declan Krogman and Greg Polius, as well as our special guest, Dave Chestnut. Yes, sir. So we've been talking some football, and I'm sure you've been enjoying it. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. I think we all have. And along those lines, I mean, we're talking second pick, or rather Zach Wilson, who's looking like the second pick. But on the other side of that conversation about New York sports is the Giants. And you, Declan, I see the face you're making already. You're getting yourself prepared. But this is not a knock on Declan. This didn't leave his mouth, I don't believe. But there have been, and Greg, you can correct me who it is, but I know that there was a talking head who was saying that Daniel Jones is a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
I think it was one of the Maras, one of the owners.
It was John Mara. It was the owner of the
John Mara. Okay, perfect. So John Mara put it out into the world, into the universe, that Daniel Jones, DJ himself, Danny Fumbles, as some people know him, is a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Look at Declan's face.
29 fumbles in 2 years. But he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. All right, and I'm gonna withhold my opinion for now, but I'll kick it to our guest, Dave. What are your thoughts on this hot take? Oh, you might. Dave? I think you might be on mute. It's on mute.
You guys made him mute himself.
Hello?
No.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
You're good. What's the show?
You see, I didn't get that hot take. Because you're putting more pressure on Daniel Jones to be great. He's not ready to be great. His first year, you saw signs of being a decent quarterback. Like, all right, we got something here. The second year, like most athletes in any sport, the league understands you. They're going to prepare for you better. So you struggle a little bit.
Tatis.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
Yeah, not yet. It's too early.
Absolutely.
Third, you know, it's like, who are you? Like, this is not you. You're not that good. Like, so for obviously now, I'm a Giants fan. They put all the pieces together. They brought a lot of offensive talent in to basically say, hey, Daniel, this is put up or shut up. Because if he doesn't put up, the New York Giants will be in the same place as the New York Jets looking for a quarterback after this year.
Yep. Yeah, 100% agree with that. Greg, I'm going to let you go last, Deck. I know I want you to kind of let that build up and fester a little bit. I know it's killing you a little bit, but Greg, let us know.
This feels like an intervention.
I know you're supposed to support your players, right?
Yes.
But there's also living in reality. And nothing Daniel Jones has shown in his career thus far is even remotely close to making the assertion that he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. not even like is that even in a realm of possibility? Like it makes you wonder, like, does he need to get checked? Like, is he okay? Is everything okay? Blink twice if somebody's making you say this. Like, is Dave Gettleman making him say this?
He must have something on the Maras, man.
Yeah, nah. I'll have to say Dave Gettleman did his job. He did his part. He protected his own behind. I said, listen, I got the talent. Don't blame me. It's Daniel's time to perform, and that's exactly what he did. I just don't see where how does that even help your situation? It doesn't even help the team saying stuff like that. It just brings unwanted attention of expecting greatness when greatness is not there. But I want to say one thing. Can this year be, I hope he has a Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield type year this year. Because
you're speaking Declan's language.
No, I'm hoping that he takes that, because and I'm being real fair to him right now, because in Baker Mayfield,
you see how hard it is for you to be fair for him. Why is that so hard for you?
Because
struggling to find words just to be fair.
But you've seen the progression in Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen. You've seen it. You've seen that. Like, yo, listen, all right, these guys got it. They just need a few things to happen for them. Daniel Jones is like, the bite is not there. It's just like, we're gonna be a 6-10 team forever. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel with him.
6-11.
I mean 6-11 now. 6-11 now. No more even numbers.
So shout out to Carl, the sports hit list chosen one, the leader of the brigade.
He's stealing my points, by the way, but go ahead.
He asked, before Eli won, did we believe he was Super Bowl winning QB? And for me, it wasn't so much about him being, but Eli, even as inconsistent as Eli was, there was still those high highs he had in off seasons, even when the Giants made up been a good game.
He's gonna be great.
Yeah, but you could tell, like, okay. And one thing I've always said about Eli is he always performed when the game was on the line, when it mattered the most in his prime. You can't say that about Daniel Jones right now. So how the hell are we even giving him this type of like moniker?
No, yeah. Declan, I'm gonna give it to you right after this. I will say we know that Daniel Jones can run that damn ball when he's ready. So you give Daniel Jones that lane and he'll take it. So he can run about your 40, 50 yards.
Tripped by Ghost.
By the girlfriend of Manti Te'o.
Oh, wow. Man.
That's damn, Deck. You really been killing him today.
You touched the heart right there. You pulled the strings of the heart right there.
All right, Declan, you go. What do you got, man? What are you feeling? Or do you agree? Is Daniel Jones a Super Bowl winning quarterback?
Danny Dimes is his guy.
The obvious answer is no.
Boo.
Yeah. Sorry to ruin your ironic media narratives that are trying to be brought up here. Listen, I'm going to say a couple things since I sat back on the matter as this intervention was brought across the table to me. John Mara, and this is why it's so funny to me, and Carl brings up the question, did you believe Eli was a Super Bowl winning quarterback before he won? John Mara was on record saying before the 2007 season, which was Eli's fourth year in the league, that I don't know if we can win with this guy. So that's Eli Manning, right? Saying he doesn't know if we can win with – actually, I'm going to full name him right now. Elijah Nelson Archibald Manning III.
Oh.
That's what he just said.
Government heard you.
Seriously. All I need is the address. Then we'll really go full. No, seriously. That's what John Mara said about Eli Manning. So to come out here and say about Daniel Jones, this guy could win a Super Bowl, it's just owner talk. Listen, if they didn't believe that he was the guy, they probably wouldn't have surrounded him with all these pieces. They wouldn't have a huge organizational revamp.
I disagree with that.
But see, that's what you do. You know what? Like this, they're setting him up for if he doesn't go and make the plays he needs to make, if he doesn't become the quarterback that they drafted him to be, then you're going to be at the bottom tier of the league and you're going to go for a quarterback next year. Or you're going to sign a veteran.
I agree with that.
It is his third year. I've always said it. I feel like a broken record saying it's the most important year for a young quarterback. And if he doesn't put it together, I do think he will. I think we'll see shades of his good, a very, very nice passer in his rookie year. Took a huge regression last year all across the board, except, with his legs, as Stefan mentioned. this is a guy, and now Kyle Rudolph said that he is an Andrew Luck type. No, he doesn't.
How hard was that for you to say just now?
Yeah.
No, it's not hard at all. See, you know what?
He couldn't even finish the sentence. He said,
Yeah, and this is why it's not hard. My fine little Astros fan in the bottom right corner there. See how annoying that is, by the way? Andrew Luck's one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. Eli Manning and Josh Allen as well. Josh Allen's like tier 3 when it comes to my favorite quarterbacks of all time. But that's not even the point. Daniel Jones I root for because he's on my favorite team. But listen, being real about him is not that hard. It's obvious to see what happens. That said, like the idea that, it's done, he's not a franchise quarterback, like it sounds stupid. Especially when this is a guy who showed promise his rookie year. I'm not going to say it was a really good rookie year. Numbers wise, from a passing standpoint and nothing else, it was a decent rookie year. Regression last year was insane. No, passing numbers, absolutely, it was decent.
I was just talking about the turnovers. They weren't great rookie year, but
not even the turnovers, just the fumbles. 24-12 is not a bad touchdown interception ratio.
I mean, didn't he have 12? Didn't he have 12? He had 12 turnovers, like 12 interceptions, and then he put the ball on the ground a lot. I'm just saying the turnovers in general.
Yeah.
Well, I know all those interceptions. I'm not gonna blame him because half of them probably came off Evan Ingram's hands.
All right.
It's a big year for him.
Yeah,
it's a big year.
Agreed.
When Deck says, the Giants had to put things around him, and to see, they had to put things around him because they've made it known that he's their guy. So as an organization, they had to do that because he couldn't perform with what they've already given him. So now in this third year, it's the put up or shut up year.
Exactly.
No, it is absolutely. And if he does, if they don't put it around him, which obviously they did. The trenches, I don't know how they're going to fix that because it's still, dog
it's not
shite.
good. Yeah, it's still not good.
Horrible. So that's going to be a problem. We saw it in that Ravens game against one of the best defenses in football, if not the best defense in football. He got sacked on like 4. I think it was a 3 and out. He might have had to combine 0.8 seconds to throw the ball. But there's really, honestly, it's not all on DJ. But at the same time, actually, DJ's Derek Jeter. It's not all on Daniel. But there's a decent chunk of it that is. I don't want to. If it's not this year, then it's done.
He has no more excuses. They went out. They got Galladay. Saquon Barkley's coming back. They got a top 10 defense. I don't want to hear it.
Which is why you haven't.
Yeah,
right
well, I agree with that. I think Deck's saying the same thing. Like, this is the year, and I agree with that. And one thing I'll credit the Giants with that the Jets did not do is, for Sam Darnold, giving him pieces to say, okay, let's figure out what kind of quarterback you are, because he hasn't had the pieces. He's had different offensive coordinators, different head coaches, right?
He had chaos.
Basically, exactly. He had chaos, and he had underperformance from different positions. Like, yes, you had Crowder, and Crowder's great in the slot, but he's not your number one. And the fact that he is sad for a quarterback. You don't need Crowder as your number one. So the Jets never gave Darnold the chance. And here, as a player now, Darnold isn't getting the chance that Daniel Jones is getting to say, okay, this is what I can do. And I think that that's amazing for Daniel Jones. I hope that Daniel Jones does well this season. But
good on him, Darnold, especially he recruited Galladay. And honestly,
exactly.
In regards to the Jones-Darnold thing, like Jones has shown you more at this level of the quarterback he can be than Darnold has. So I would credit that, but also as far as a little bit more stability,
it's a whole different scenario. I agree with you. He has, but there's the different implications that affect that play there. I would say when you're talking about talent wise coming out of the draft, you're leaning Darnold, obviously. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
As far as the situation that Darnold's in now, though, which is really unfortunate. You're here like, okay, this is my team. I'm trying to prove myself. I have a coach that believes in me and hopefully is going to put the plan out for me to win. And you don't even know if you're going to be playing for them come season, and that's a stark difference between where the Giants are at. And the Giants are giving Daniel Jones the exact chance he needs. And I just don't think that Darnold had that chance. And now he's, his future with the Jets is in jeopardy.
Good for it, but you know what? Honestly, though, like, listen, it's got to be.
That might be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, seriously, it's got to be such a tough situation to prepare for, as not only a quarterback in the National Football League, but an athlete in general. Yeah, I really, honestly, I was always in the camp of let's reunite him in Pittsburgh. with his USC teammate and Juju. But honestly, what looks kind of cool now is let's reunite him with Robbie Anderson, the guy Joe Douglas should have signed down in Carolina.
Exactly.
I really think that's a great fit, especially in Rule's offense. They could try to maximize the potential that the Jets couldn't.
I agree with that. I mean, but they just got to make the move.
Well, yeah, they got to make the move. And
I think the Jets are waiting to see what they can get back. It'll probably,
I think so.
If he gets moved, it probably won't be until draft day.
I think they're talking about a third-round pick, though.
But they're saying if they're only going to get a third-round pick, they're not going to make the move because in 2023 they'll get a compensatory third-round pick anyway.
Yeah,
that's fine. I wouldn't do it either.
So then you're going to sit him behind Zach Wilson for a year?
No, he becomes his backup.
That could be bad for business. I never like the idea of having the two guys together. It's just why would you want to do that to Zach Wilson? You're leaving a guy that was supposed to be the franchise guy. Like you are.
And this is where recency bias comes into play because we've been force fed this notion that a quarterback is supposed to come from college and be able to be a franchise guy number one right away, and that's not always the case. Patrick Mahomes wasn't that guy.
He was not. I was going to mention that.
Yeah, but see,
Patrick Mahomes wasn't that guy.
See, that's different. The Chiefs were a playoff football team with Alex Smith. The Jets are a laughing stock.
But that's not the point, though. The point is the guy from college comes and sits and learns because he's still
not the same. College football, NFL is not the same.
It's different.
The problem is Sam can process the NFL defense a lot faster than a Zach Wilson can because Zach Wilson has never seen an NFL defense.
Yeah, but
so you let them fight it out. You can't just assume that a guy's going to come in and that's not the norm. The Cam Newtons, the Andrew Lucks of the world, these are not normal circumstances. Most guys come in and sit. No, it's not. It's only normal. It's only normal in the recent time.
Hold on, Declan. Let him finish, and then you go.
But that's what I said. I said it is not the norm. Only recently has this happened where guys get drafted and they're immediately expected to be the franchise quarterback from day one. That has not always been the case.
Because that's the new normal, though. But it's a different philosophy. Like 04, you sat Eli. It's a different NFL. The best experience is not sitting behind a backup quarterback. And the best experience in the NFL at this point is just reps, especially on a team that's going to go 6-10.
Say that blanketly, though. Because when you're every QB is different.
But see, when you're looking at the Jets roster, and now we're looking at a guy who everyone is saying is NFL ready, and Zach Wilson. What are the Jets gaining, and what is Zach Wilson gaining by not trotting out there to have a year where, first of all, we know they're not going to win games with or without him. What is the point of having Sam Darnold trot out and lose all these games when you could be doing it with Zach Wilson and getting him reps? It's just
or if you don't protect him, he ends up like Joe Burrow with a leg injury.
But see, the Jets have Becton, and they can potentially – this line isn't great, but they can potentially get it to where it needs to be.
So I'll say this, just to interject really quickly. I don't think it does not hurt Zach Wilson to come in and be behind Sam Darnold. If anything, it helps the Jets organization if they draft Zach Wilson and then Sam Darnold goes on to perform well and increases his value to the NFL, and then they can move him if they believe that Zach Wilson, if the season maybe doesn't go the way it needs to, but Darnold is performing much better than he has, his stock increases. The Jets now have a trading chip that they can use before the trade deadline, and it's better for them in the long run. I think that makes more sense. Being behind a quarterback as a rookie doesn't hurt you. Yes, I agree with you, Deck. Getting game reps is most valuable, but there still is value in learning from a quarterback that's done it already, because you don't know. He has not seen especially being in that weak conference. He has not seen defensive schemes that Darnold has done. Darnold saw ghosts, and shout out to Speedy. Speedy made a joke earlier. He was saying that Darnold tried to warn Daniel Jones about the ghosts. It's true. He probably did, and he tripped him up anyway. But Sam Darnold has seen complex defenses that Zach Wilson his head would probably spin. So being able to get those reps behind Darnold will be helpful. Will in-game reps be better than that? Yes, because first-hand experience is always going to be better. But I do not think it's detrimental for him to be behind Sam Darnold and then allow Sam Darnold to hopefully, with whatever pieces they end up putting around him, to improve his play and increase that value.
Right.
If they go that route.
Here's my thing.
Hold on one second. Because what we're also not mentioning is, say we come in and make Zach Wilson a starter off the rip. Mm-hmm. You know, Zach Wilson struggles, then he gets benched. Then that looks really, really bad.
But see, they would never bench the. They would never.
You don't know that because if he plays poorly enough, he will get benched.
For David Sales? What is that? That would just prove you're the joke of the organization.
Because
everyone thinks they are.
It means they drafted him when he wasn't ready, and they started him when he wasn't ready, and then you throw Sam Darnold back in, and it becomes another QB circus. So that's why you have him come in and sit.
No, but see, this is the thing. First of all, the Jets don't want to do anything unprecedented that we haven't really seen. Listen, we've seen quarterbacks sit.
How do you know that?
Because why would they want to do that? I'm not saying.
No. I'm not going to let you get away with that.
It's a Declan take.
You have zero fact. You just said a feeling. I feel they're going to do. No, we're not doing that. I'm not letting you get away with that.
What are you talking
Absolutely
about?
not. You just
why would the Jets want to do anything unprecedented? We've only seen guys. Hold on, Greg. We only see guys sit behind old quarterbacks, even mid to early 30s. We see them get reps behind them. We don't have a guy that the team drafted 3 years ago in the top 5. Hey, you're going to sit behind this guy for a couple of years. It makes no sense. It's stupid. You're not going to bench him behind a guy that was supposed to be your franchise guy as opposed to a guy that was the guy.
I hear that, Declan, but I know what Greg is saying is that the organization has not said anything. There's no inkling of that being a fact. Yes, you could feel that and think that it's the most logical thing, but I agree with him that is how you feel, and there's no indication that the Jets would not go that route. Then they still could.
They don't want to do anything unprecedented, is what I'm saying.
How much time in?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just feel even if I feel the Jets are going to draft Zach, right? He shouldn't start from the get-go anyway. Just because of the lack of the competition that he has had, and you have to catch up to the speed of the game. If Sam is there, you don't train him, Sam should start. It's no issue with him just getting to know how the NFL works. Why are we rushing these guys for failure? Also, the hype train that we talked about earlier is killed if he sits down for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can slow some of that down.
Yeah.
You control the narrative if you bench him immediately because there's no quarterback controversy. There's no reporters in camp asking every day who's going to be the starter, who's playing well. Sam Darnold's our guy. Zach Wilson's our guy of the future. Sam knows it. He's playing for another job elsewhere, and Zach Wilson knows that he has the keys to the offense. You know, it kills all the media, like Dave said, the media hype train.
But if you're going to do that, though, then you bring in a guy like Ryan Fitzpatrick or you bring in an older veteran to do that.
You have a Sam Darnold on the books for what?
I think Alex
already have the draft, like they will.
If you have – sorry, continue, Dave. You can go.
No, I think Alex Smith will be a big sign if he's been in that position
exactly.
before.
Yeah, that's what I would do, honestly. If you want to bench him, I would bring in Alex Smith. But when have we ever seen a 25-year-old quarterback – who was drafted in the first, not even the first round, the first 5 picks? When have we seen a 25-year-old quarterback have to be the veteran for the guy they draft in the top 2? You don't see that. That's the job of a 35-year-old quarterback.
Historically, there's not too many incompetent organizations like the Jets. So there's that.
Yeah, so let's not continue to be incompetent.
Josh Rosen got moved, luckily, before Kyler Murray came in when he, didn't have a chance to prove himself for the Cardinals. I just think that the circumstance is very difficult for Sam Darnold because the value isn't there for him, and the Jets aren't going to move him just for anything. You'd want to. I agree, Declan. You'd want to move him like now and then bring in a journeyman to go and like be the guy, the lead. But if you can't do that, I still see the value in Sam Darnold starting and then adding that because his stock is low. That's just a fact. That's why he hasn't moved yet.
Yeah, I really believe though that they can get a second-round pick from him. Like he's shown more than Josh Rosen has by a lot.
Yeah.
Also, Rosen got a second-round pick.
And not just his stock is low. The Jets have no leverage. We know you want to get rid of him, so you want to do what I give you.
Yeah, that's
also.
Real.
And if you come in and you bench Zach Wilson from jump, and Sam plays 8 games, plays poorly, guess what? The switch becomes a lot easier than if it's flipped the other way around.
Yeah, but then now what are you doing with Sam Darnold? You're just going to wind up.
He becomes a career backup. That's it.
No, you're going to. Now you're losing value that you can get now, and his
value is already low. But if he starts, he plays, and he plays poorly,
He'll have value.
He's not.
I think
He's
so.
not, what'd you
At
say?
worst.
No, I'm saying if you waited 8 games and you wanted to move him, maybe it's not a third round pick, but Sam Darnold will still have value. You can still trade him. It's not
Yeah,
like he's
but
just
that's what I'm saying. But
go.
Zach Wilson still doesn't have the same amount of hype around it. It's just, okay, yeah, people will be excited, but it's not like, okay, he has to perform right now. Obviously, the Jets are not in win now mode. Let the rookie learn.
Yeah, it's a higher cliff to fall off for Zach Wilson just because of how hyped they're making him. You know,
I would sign Alex Smith, honestly. I think that's a better. I thought, I'm with you, Dave. I think that's
Alex Smith. I always thought that was a big. He's been in that position, and Alex Smith knows because of your injury, no one's ever going to sign you and be like, "Oh, you're our future quarterback."
Yeah.
And you know what? He did it for Mahomes.
I don't know how.
He got
I don't know how. Yeah, exactly. He did it for Mahomes. I don't know what Chicago's thinking, making Andy Dalton their QB1. If anybody want to make QB1 with Alex Smith, because he balls out way more than Andy Dalton. But
the red rifle has the answers. All right,
yes.
That's what they.
Well, they also
God bless Chicago. God bless
Chicago. But with that,
they should have kept Trubisky. If you're going to, let me keep my mouth shut about that.
Well, that's already
been most valuable player.
That's already been spoken about on Smoke and Mirrors. Greg is a bigger fan of Trubisky than he is of the Red Rifle. We all know that. You can agree. It's a you join his bandwagon of.
No, I'm joining that. I'm joining that bandwagon. I'd rather keep Trubisky than Andy Dalton. What?
Why would Trubisky go to the Bills too? That's another thing that makes no sense.
Yeah, just backing up, baby. We're hoping for an injury, maybe, or just that one game he might prove himself.
Josh Allen takes 3 games over a year. He runs it like it's hit. So
yeah, well, I mean, he hasn't gotten injured yet, though. That's the only thing. Like maybe when they go 13-3 in that Week 17 game, he'll get to start.
Before you sign us,
he'll throw 4 touchdowns and then get signed for $20 million somewhere else.
Yes, sir.
Before we sign off, Steph, I forgot to mention during the baseball segment. Shout out to Akil Baddoo, guy from the Tigers. Had Tommy John, and first pitch he saw in the big leagues hit a Oppo Taco. So shout out to him. That was a great moment for his parents. Yeah.
And Nick Castellanos
suspended
2 games.
Oh, I mean,
that's a little soft.
Okay,
we agree that he was an a-hole, but like.
I don't think the suspension was necessary.
It's not necessary at
all.
No
punches were even thrown.
This is why baseball has no fans.
It's soft. That was soft. We agree that Castellanos was wrong. Like, he was lame for what he did, but
but not a suspension.
2 games for that. Like,
if
you're gonna get 2 games, at least go
in everyday life. Why punish him for it?
No.
That's what he wanted to do. That's what he wanted to do. It brought baseball more ratings. People enjoyed it. So listen, they should just let him off the hook just off that.
More people
look at the clip while he's hot, though. I mean, geez.
I'm sure he will get another game or 2 in. But with that being said, that's our show, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Smoke and Mirrors. I'm your host, Stephen Polius, alongside my fellow hosts, Declan Krogman and Greg Polius. And we had our special guest, Dave Chestnut. Dave, thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure.
It's my
Love
pleasure.
to have you back. This is great.
Let me know.
Yes, we'll reach out. All right. And we're sorry we took so long. That's on us.
Listen. I'm ready. You know what I mean? I'm ready to go lock and load all the time.
Awesome. Well,
bring Dave because we have some decent 2-on-2s.
What you call it? Dave, shout out your podcast, bro.
Listen, I got a podcast, the Extraordinary Sports Podcast. You can get it on iTunes. Listen, tune in, subscribe. It's all love.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you for the plug. Like I said, Smoke and Mirrors presented by the Sports Idlits on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. We'll see you on Friday between 1 and 2. Take care.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.